Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing this 2024 Chevy Silverado LT. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Chevy in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Nick and Gage. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 19 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see how it's raised there on either side and in the center as well. I've always thought that's a pretty cool look. And then coming down below, we've got the new style of headlights they released for the 2022 refresh. You guys can see here with the chrome on the grille, and then notice how it's kind of darker in between. We've got recovery points here at the bottom as well. Doesn't look like we have fog lights though. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks here with the LT package. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275/60/20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the silver on the top, and then you've got the metallic gray on the inside portion. And these are all-terrain tires because this one has the Z71 package. And speaking of Z71, there's the badge. You guys can see we also have some chrome mirror cap action, body painted door handles as well. And then we still have leaf springs in the back, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it very well, but we do have off-road shocks with the Z71 package. And here is your full side view with the truck. Look at all the body lines that go across. It looks pretty cool. So here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our unlock function, our lock function, remote start. We've got the tailgate drop down, and then you guys can see we've got the Chevy bow tie there on the back. Now popping into the bed, you guys can see that we've got protection from the factory. We also have some LED bed light action and a full power outlet as well, which is really cool. But yeah, good sized bed, and the tailgate, that's light. We've got all of our badges and logos here on the back. You guys can see here with the squished exhaust tips is what I like to call them. And we got the bumper step action as well. And then we got the more baseline taillights. So wrapping things up, let me know what you guys think about the looks of the LT. Do you think this is cool enough, or do you need to get another package to make it look cool? Now, before we move on to the next feature, we need to talk about today's video sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Now, believe it or not, the modern world is actually a pretty treacherous place. Every single time you go out for a drive, there's a chance that you could get into an accident. You could be walking in front of a business, they could have something on the ground, and you could slip and fall and hurt yourself. And on top of that, you could just be doing your job, right? Like you always do, and something could happen and you could sustain a major injury. This is a topic that's very important to me personally because I drive about 40,000 miles per year for the channel. And so there are a lot of situations that I'm put in on a day-to-day basis where accidents almost happen. Now, knock on wood, nothing's happened for years, but there's always the chance that something could happen. And this is where Morgan & Morgan comes into play. They are America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices, over 800 lawyers, and over 4,000 case staff that are all ready to help you out. And one of the best parts about working with Morgan & Morgan is that things like the negotiations, the court hearings, and the research associated with putting together a case are all free unless you win. And so if you're involved in some kind of personal accident, whether it be a car accident, a slip and fall accident, or an accident at the workplace, then you might want to get help from Morgan & Morgan. And on a little bit of a side note, don't feel bad about hiring an attorney. Remember that you're suing the insurance company that is worth billions upon billions of dollars. They can more than pay for the compensation that you deserve. So if you are injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy, or you can give them a call at #529. That is pound law. Again, www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy or pound law. Now taking a look at the door panel, it's soft touch here at the top. You got some wood trim that goes across, and then you've got the double stack design with the armrest. Again, soft touch there as well. Window control right here, and I like the little tube door handle. And then you've got some storage at the bottom. Cloth seats with this LT package. As you can see, you got some underseat storage as well. And then we got a flat loading floor here, and notice got protection there from the factory. Legroom back here is quite plentiful. We got a little storage pocket as well. Got some vent action here in the center, and then headroom back here, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see soft touch yet again. We've got all of our window controls here. Notice the front one is automatic. You got all of your mirror adjustments as well. And then notice the little convex mirror there to help out with your blind spot. Now we have 1,732 pounds of payload capacity. And then you guys can see we've got 9,200 pounds of conventional towing. And then this leads us into the front seats here, cloth just like the back seats. We've got all of our adjustments there on the side, and then we've got our light controls right here with our cargo light. Drive line select, so we have 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, 4-wheel low, and you guys can see the drive mode select built in with the tow haul mode as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. You got the darker stitching there on the center portion. Radio controls on the back. We also have the controls here for the center stack on the front. You've got your cruise control heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel. Regular stock there on the back for the turn signal / windshield wipers. And then we have a good old-fashioned column shifter, plus and minus on it, so you can shift the gears yourself. So we've got this full digital gauge cluster here, which you can use to scroll through a few different menus to see different bits of info on the truck itself. And then again, you got that tow haul mode, which is a little trailer behind the Silverado. You have a sport mode and then an off-road mode as well as a normal mode too. Now in reverse, we have a traditional backup camera here with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You got the tow haul mode and you have the zoom in function on the receiver hitch as well. And then if we put it back into park, you guys can see the infotainment screen. We're gonna slide that there so it doesn't mess with the camera filter. But anyways, shortcut bar here on the side. You've got the main screen here. You can see you've got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and then you've got that little auxiliary tab there. And then I've always found it funny with the home screen buttons right next to each other, and then physical volume control too. Speaking of physical controls, we have this for the lane departure, your auto stop start, tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control, hill descent control as well. Trailer brake controls in this area. And then we have our dual zone climate controls, heated seats as well for the front passengers, and then some USB action. Now taking a look at the center console, we got storage here on the top, some nice padding, some cup holder action, and got all of the cloth trim because this is a bench seat at the end of the day. More storage there. Now something to mention, although this is a seat, you want to have shorter legs if you're going to sit there because of the drive line hump in the center. And then we've got the double glove box here. Some wood trim down below, by the way. And I do like the padding on the outside of the glove box. I think that looks nice. And then also on the dash as well. And then up top, things are pretty simple. We got a button here for the power sliding window. And then we also have a manual mirror dimming function. So sorry about the glare on the window sticker. This one actually has the G80, so you've got the auto locking rear differential, which is really cool. Base MSRP is $54,000. This is an all-star edition plus, so it does add some extra options. We have the Z71 package, we got the protection package. I mean, this thing's pretty loaded up. Total MSRP after all options, $61,060. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, and the rest of the rear. And, well, let us set off. Yeah, accidentally went into the, all the way down to the manual mode right there. This is gonna be a little bit of a shorter drive than normal. I promise I'll have more extensive test drives, apparently I can't talk, in the future with the 24 Silverado. This is obviously our first video. The truck's almost out of gas, so that's why we're not going super far. Don't want to get stranded on the side of the road. But I will say I do like the fact that the 5.3 with the 10-speed, I do like this powertrain setup. You've got a good naturally aspirated V8, reliable, all of that. And Chevy's 10-speed's a good transmission. Okay, obviously I'll get a better acceleration up here in a moment, but it's got, like, you can feel it's got decent torque. So this will be our little turn-in thing where we'll get our hardcore acceleration. Won't be too crazy, but we'll get up and get moving a little bit here. Woo! I mean, it's got some power. Obviously, it doesn't feel as quick as the 6.2. It doesn't feel as torquey as the Duramax. Duramax is still my favorite powertrain. It's just such a good powertrain. I think that's why Chevy is the only one left with a diesel and a half-ton here in the U.S. market. But anyways, you know, with this LT package, this is obviously kind of like the This is supposed to be the everyman's truck, right? Because, you know, most people that are getting a pickup truck, they don't want to get a base model pickup truck, right? You want a few options like the dual zone climate, the heated seats, just something that's a little bit nicer. Like when I sold pickup trucks at the Ram dealership, we sold a bunch of Bighorns, which competes against the LT package. With that being said, it's crazy that this is $60,000. Like in today's world, you know, the everyman's pickup truck is now $60,000, over $10,000 more expensive than the average brand new car. And here's another little acceleration. V8 power. But with that being said, it's still less expensive than Ford and Ram. An equivalent Bighorn or XLT at this point in today's market, you're looking at like $65,000 plus. So although $60,000 is a lot of money, it's still $5,000 less than the competition, and the Ford and the Ram are not $5,000 better trucks, if that makes sense. So let me know your thoughts on this LT, and let me know your thoughts on like just the overall configuration. Is there anything you would change? For me, the only thing that I would probably change is the engine to the Duramax, because I'm such a Duramax fanboy at this point. But yeah, let me know what you think.